What's up, guys? I get a lot of people reaching out to me day to day, week to week, as I do my options trades, and they wonder, okay, what are you doing? How does this work? Is this a pyramid scheme? No, none of this is a pyramid scheme. Pretty much, I started investing about 8.5 years ago when I was 18, 19 at the time. I just joined the military and I opened a TSP, which is a thrift savings plan. And I also started investing in a brokerage account. I use Fidelity. And over 8 years, I managed to rack up about 38 to 40,000, which in 8 years is good. Um, um, because I started trading options in March of this year, which was it's about to be 5 months starting in August. I've made $35,550.66 since March. 8 years, 8.5 ish, 8 ish years to get to 40,000. 5 months to get to 35,550. Which, if you divide that, it's $7,110 a month. And at first, I was just using what I started with. So I was using about 25 ish K to trade with in March. And then, as you can see, okay, this is my March trading log. I made $4,307. Not bad for the first time ever trading. April, I made 3,391. Went down a little bit. If you guys know, April was a crazy month of trading. May I made 5,600. Last month I made 6,860, which isn't right. I actually made 9,515. Sometimes that calendar's off. Excuse that. And then in July I made so far I've made $12,511. $11. This is just with the metrics that I've been using to trade, right? So I sell puts, sell covered calls. Now that we have that figured out, no, this is all real. This is all me inputting my trades. If we go to Robinhood, this isn't even a crazy account. I've taken money, added money. I had it. I had taken out about 22,000 last month, and as you can see, this month I built it back up. I've made 16K in the past month overall because I still have trades in play and X that I hold on to. So trading wise, I've only made this, which is like guaranteed. This is my profit I can play with in real life. I go spend it, whatnot. But my portfolio, I've made 16,600. So this month I've made quite a good bit um, between trading and just holding stocks. I've actually dabbled in a little bit of crypto this month too, which I usually don't do, but just want to be transparent with you guys. Back to what I do. Very simple. Most of the day, I might have to do a day in the life soon. Some people have been telling me to, just because it might be funny. Like, wake up. All right, it's 8:30. Sometimes I get up a little late because I got narcolepsy, so I'm a sleepy guy. But yeah, I'll get up at like 8:25, 8:30. Get over to my bed, look at my phone because I swing trade, and I'm like, oh, my trades are ready to be closed out, so I'll close them out. It's 8:32, 8:35. You know, maybe roll back over for 5, 10 minutes, get up, and my workday's already over. Like, it sounds too good to be true, but it isn't because I can do it. Anybody else can. Um, so if you look at my other videos, if you've been watching or you're just curious to look back, this is what I do. I sell puts. So when you sell a put, you have to put up a certain amount of collateral saying that I will buy the stock and on a certain day for a certain price. So, right, this is the option I currently have. It's called AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. I'm sure you've heard of it. Most people have. It's the number two in accordance with NVIDIA, which is a $4 trillion company. It's the biggest company in America as I know of. And this is right behind it. I think market cap's about 400 billion. Anyways, I'm thinking AMD is going to double, triple, quadruple X. I don't think in Nvidia, although I love the company, is going to double. So with that research, I said, okay, I'm going to say August 8th, which is 3 days after earnings, I believe, that I will buy AMD for 160. And I did, I believe, 3 contracts. Okay, 4 contracts. So 1 contract in options is 100 shares. So 4 contracts would be 400 shares. And per share, they gave me $5.05, which means $500 per contract, because 5 times 100 is 500. So this is pretty good trade. It's already depreciated about 11 to almost 12%, which means if I cash out now, I will make $240. Now it is Sunday. This was Friday when I did this trade. So tomorrow, we'll see futures at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then after trading hours at 8 p.m. So always excited to see what Monday is going to turn out to be, right? So that's pretty much what I do. Maybe now you might be like, look, Xavier, I don't got 100K. I don't have 25K. I don't have any of that. What do I do? Well, you could either whatever you got, you could do. It's called a poor man's covered call or poor man's credit spread, a vertical spread. There's so many different terminologies. So, like with AMD, let me pull it up. This is pretty much how you do a credit spread. I still do them because they're fun. I'll go to July. Look, credit spread. I did one. Made 125 with NVIDIA. So you go to trade AMD options. I use Robinhood because I think Robinhood's the best. I mean, very user friendly. I don't really care about the whole GameStop thing because I'm not really trading off hype of companies that aren't worth anything. So, I'm not going to get into that argument today, but anyways, so we'll sell a put. All right, this is how you do it. This is a defined risk strategy. The other one is undefined risk, meaning if I put up 10,000 with AMD at 160, it'd be 16K. Technically, AMD can go bankrupt, right? Like it can just keep going down. Like we don't know what the risk is. It's undefined. We don't know the future. So if we sell a put, like if I go here, sell a put, I like to do $5 width spreads. So the max profit would be 159. 150 times 2 is 300. So this is about 2.2 ish, 1 to 2.2. So I don't like to do anything over 3-to-1 risk. So say the profit's 150 and the risk is like $700. That means that's like quadruple the risk. I'm not doing that. So this was actually a good defined risk right here. I'm not saying to do this trade. I'm just saying if I was in somebody else's shoes and I had, let's say, $341 of risk to put up to make in August 8th, that's in like 2 weeks. That's not this Friday, but the next Friday. So in 2 weeks, you make, you make literally half of your money on your investment by just saying, I believe AMD is not going to reach 160. And even if it does reach 160, you can go all the way down to 158.41 and break even. So as long as it stays above 158.41, you're going to make something. Now we do want it to be above 160 because we get the max profit. You can also buy it back too. A lot of people will say do this and buy it back at 25%, buy it back at 50%. So 50% of what your max profit. So some of the other metrics I'm looking at is the Greeks, the delta, the theta, the gamma, the vega, the rho. Not really interested in. Doesn't really matter that much for what we're doing. I also like to look at the implied volatility, also known as IV, open interest volume, because if there's zero open interest, zero volume, whenever you go to put in the trade, you're probably not going to get the trade, or the bid ask spread is going to be like say it's $2 and then they're asking $3, like a whole dollar with what? That's $100. Like, no, we want within $10, $15 of a bid aspirin. If you don't know what that means, you can watch some of my other videos, you can look it up. But I'm just giving you more of my mind and how I do a trade and what I would do if I didn't have as much money as I do now. Now, if you have less than 25,000, you can only do a few trades a week. I believe three. So on Monday, you might not see, like, you might get into a trade and then not do anything until you see your profits and then buy it back and then maybe one more trade for the week. So that's the big downside about not having at least 25K. Oh, so a lot of people, ask me about that. I mean, it's just you have to build it up. Like, I had a lot of liquid from a business that I had started with my wife when I was in. We built furniture and the military. I mean, you make money, but it's nothing crazy and you're gone a lot, so you're not really spending money a lot. So over those years, I just figured out finance and I got obsessed with it and don't really have much debt. I bought a house at 20 and I sold it and I made like 35,000. Then I bought this my dream house out here with some land and I've been able to just save because I have a very low interest rate. My mortgage is only 1350 now because of my 2.5 interest rate. So I've been very blessed in the accounts of finance. I don't have to spend a lot to just survive. You want to figure out the surviving number of like what do I need to just pay the bills, eat, whatever the heck you got to do, work out, of course. You have to figure out that number and then pour everything else into investing until you can get to a place where you can just do this full time. Because I'm doing that now. Like I'm legit retired. I'm 26, turning 27 next month. And I'm just living off my portfolio. I'm not using all this cash. I'm trying to build it up. I can safely say every 100,000, the market's very bullish right now. But even if it wasn't, every $100,000 you have, you can easily make 5K by doing virtually nothing but using these metrics that I use to trade. You can make 100. With 100K, you can make 5,000. With 50K, you can make. I mean, I was making with 50K, I was making $8,000 a month actively trading. With 100K now, I'm making this month I'm up 16,000. Because I bought some of these new stocks this month, and of course, you already saw my options trading log. 33 trades, 12,500. So if I can do it, anybody else can. I'm actually working on a options playbook. I already have it written, but I'm looking for 10 individuals that want to learn trading. Um, I'll personally coach you, and whenever I launch this, it's going to be more of instead of paying me, you're going to just pay some charity of your choice. Leave me a good review or review of how you think I did, and from there, we can build a group of traders where we can talk and kind of nerd out about the stock market and big things coming in the future. So, the ultimate goal is to have a financial firm in brick and mortar in the next 5 years and help people build finances based off biblical wisdom, following Jesus Christ, because He is over everything and in charge of everything. And we should be good stewards with the blessings He gives us day to day, especially when it comes to finance. I don't really come from any money at all. Some members of my family had some money growing up. Nobody, mother and father, did not at all. I mean, we were virtually poor. That's why I joined the military, and it turned out great for me. But my goal is to help people that have very little or zero idea about finance, especially the younger population, because Lord knows the schools do not want you to know how to escape the matrix, the hamster wheel of going to get a job to just survive and, hate most of your life because you're just doing what you've been programmed to do, right? So that's all for me today. I know I haven't been on here in a while, but I'm making a comeback. I've been busy remodeling my house and getting ready for this cross country trip, but sell puts, sell covered calls, sell credit spreads, and just stay trading and watch your portfolio grow. Thanks.